Hey guys, welcome to one of the fastest growing sports YouTube channels out there, Gold and Blue Dude. So the coaches poll for the top 25 has come out, and you want Gold and Blue Dude's reaction. Well, let's go! Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me again, Gold and Blue Dude. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I do college football videos every single day. That's what I do. Hey guys, don't forget to check out my good friends at TriStateWoodSketch.com. They do amazing work over there. All you have to do is send them the picture that you want transferred onto wood, and he'll get it done. And if you mention Gold and Blue Dude, he'll give you 20% off your order. The first coaches poll for the top 25 has come out, and I'm going to give you my reaction. Right off the bat, I'm going to let you know this is a meaningless poll, but we still like talking about it. First up, let's break it down by conferences. The MAC, Conference USA, and the Mountain West all got 0. No teams in the coaches' top 25 to begin with. The Independent got 1 team, which is Notre Dame. The AAC only got 1 team, and that's Cincinnati. The Sun Belt got 2 teams. The Pac-12 got 3 teams. The ACC got 3 teams. The Big 12 got 4 teams. The Big 10 got 5 teams. And of course, the SEC leads the way with 6 teams. We'll start our way at the bottom and work our way up. Debuting at number 25 in coaches' top 25 poll, Ole Miss. Last year, they went 5-5, finished the season as Outback Bowl champs. They beat Indiana, and in their first game, they get Louisville in Atlanta, which I expect Ole Miss to win easily. Athlon's prediction for Ole Miss this year, 8-4, finishing 27th, and 4-4 in the SEC. Number 24 is going to be Coastal Carolina. Last year, they finished the season 11-1, lost to Liberty in the Cure Bowl. First game will be a home game against the Citadel. Athlon has them finishing 11-2, finishing 24th, and going 7-1 in the Sun Belt. Number 23, Louisiana, staying in the Sun Belt. Last year, they finished the season 10-1, first responder bowl champs. First game at Texas, which I expect Louisiana to win that game. Athlon has them finishing 11-2 as well, 23rd. That's 1 spot above Coastal Carolina, and also going 7-1 in the Sun Belt. Number 22 is going to be Oklahoma State. Last year, they finished the season a disappointing 8-3, but they were the Cheez-It Bowl champs. First game, a home game against Missouri State. Athlon has them finishing 8-4, 28th, and going 5-4 in the Big 12. I actually kind of agree with that. Number 21, Washington. Last year, they went 3-1, a weird season, vacated their Pac-12 championship spot because of COVID, and their first game is a home game against Montana. Athlon has them finishing 9-3, finishing 22nd, going 6-3 in the Pac-12. I think Washington's going to be a little bit better than that. Number 20, Penn State. Last year, they finished 4-5. Crazy year for Penn State. They finished the season on a 4-game winning streak. First game at Wisconsin, tough road test, which I do think Penn State loses, but I think they have a 10-win season. Athlon thinks that Penn State's going to go 8-4, finish number 19, and go 6-3 in the Big 10. Number 19, Texas. Last year, they went 7-3, finished the season as Alamo Bowl champs. First game, a home game against Louisiana, which I do think they will lose. Athlon has Texas going 9-3, finishing number 20, and going 6-3 in the Big 12. Number 18, Iowa. Last year, they went 6-2. Their bowl was canceled. First game, a home game against Indiana. I think they win that game. Athlon has Iowa finishing 8-4, number 16, and going 6-3 in the Big 10. Speaking of Indiana, number 17, Indiana. Last year, 6-2, went to the Outback Bowl, but lost to Ole Miss. First game at Iowa. I think they lose that first game. Athlon has Indiana going 8-4, finishing number 21, and going 6-3 in the Big 10. Number 16 is going to be Miami of Florida, the Hurricanes. Last year, they went 8-3, made it to the Cheez-It Bowl, but got beat by Oklahoma State. First game, a neutral game against Alabama in Atlanta. I think they lose, but I think that game is closer than people realize. Athlon has them finishing 9-3, number 14, going 6-2 in the ACC. That's a pretty good prediction, Athlon. Coming in at number 15 is Wisconsin. Last year, they finished 4-3, a letdown year, but they ended the season on a high note as the Duke's Mayo Bowl champs. First game they have is a home game against Penn State. I think that's a big win for Wisconsin. Athlon has Wisconsin going 9-4, finishing number 13, and going 7-2 in the Big 10. I think Wisconsin finishes well into the top 10 this year and possibly makes the playoffs. Coming in at number 14, USC, the Trojans. Last year, they went 5-1, lost the Pac-12 championship game, didn't play a bowl. First game, home game against San Jose State. Athlon has USC going 8-4, finishing number 18, going 6-3 in the Pac-12. No, I think the Trojans do a little bit better than that. Number 13, LSU. Last year, they went 5-5, no bowl. First game at UCLA. Tricky first game. I think they win that, but be careful. If you don't play your A game, UCLA is capable of beating LSU at home. Athlon has LSU going 9-3, finishing number number 17 and going 5-3 in the SEC. I think that prediction is spot on, Athlon. Good job. Coming in at number 12 is Oregon. Last year, they went 4-3. Got to the Fiesta Bowl, but got dismantled. They were the Pac-12 champs. First game, a home game against Fresno State. Athlon has Oregon finishing 10-3, number 9, and going 7-2 in the Pac-12. I think Oregon doesn't do quite that well. You're not giving Washington enough credit. Number 11, Florida. Last year, they went 8-4. Got to the Cotton Bowl and got their brains beaten out by Oklahoma. First game, a home game against FAU. Athlon has them going 9-3, finishing number 11, and going 5-3 in the SEC. I don't agree with that. I think Florida barely gets to a bowl at like 7-5. Now the top 10. Number 10, Cincinnati. Last year, they went 9-1, got to the Peach Bowl, and barely lost to a good Georgia team. Their first game is a home game against Miami of Ohio. Athlon has them going 11-2, finishing number 8, and going 7-1 in the AAC. I don't know who Athlon has them losing to in the AAC, but that means Athlon thinks they'll either go on the road and beat Indiana or Notre Dame. I think they beat both and go undefeated and make a great case to get into the playoffs. Number 9, North Carolina. Last year, they went 8-4. They did get to the Orange Bowl, but got beat by Texas A&M. Their first game, a tricky road game at Virginia Tech. North Carolina is the better team, but that place is going to be rocking. I wouldn't be surprised if Virginia Tech pulled off the upset. At the same time, I don't think Virginia Tech's going to be very good next year, so who knows, really. Athlon has North Carolina going 10-3, finishing number 10, and going 6-2 in the ACC. I think that's a pretty good prediction. Number 8, Iowa State. Last year, they went 9-3. They finished the season as the Fiesta Bowl champs. Their first game, a home game against Northern Iowa. Athlon has them going 10-3, finishing number 7, and going 7-2 in the Big 12. I think that's a great prediction. Iowa State is a dark horse to make the playoffs. Number 7, Notre Dame. Last year, they finished the season 10-2. They got to the playoffs, but got dismantled by Alabama. First game, a tricky road game to Florida State. I think Florida State is capable of upsetting Notre Dame, and if that happens, Notre Dame's season is done right out of the gate. Athlon has Notre Dame going 10-2 and finishing number 12. That's not a bad prediction, but I think Notre Dame's going to go 8-4. They have a brutal schedule. Number 6, Texas A&M. Last year, they finished the season 9-1, and they finished as Orange Bowl champs, beating North Carolina. Their first game, a home game against Kent State. Athlon has them going 10-2, finishing number 6, and going 6-2 in the SEC. I think that is spot on, and Texas A&M has a pretty good shot of making the playoffs as well. Number 5, Georgia. Last year, they finished the season 8-2. Peach Bowl champs, beating Cincinnati. First game, a neutral game against Clemson in Charlotte. That game is going to affect the rankings right off the bat. I think Georgia loses that game. It's going to be a close one, but I think they win the rest of their games, including the SEC championship, and get to the playoffs. Athlon disagrees. Athlon thinks Georgia will go 11-2, finish number 5, go 8-0 in the SEC. So Athlon thinks Georgia will lose to Clemson and lose in the SEC championship. Number 4, Ohio State. Last year, they finished the season 11-1. They did get to the national championship, but got beat by Alabama. They are the reigning Big Ten champions. First game, tricky road game at Minnesota. Ohio State is the better team, but Minnesota is an under-the-radar good team. Be careful, Buckeyes. Athlon has Ohio State going 13-0, finishing number 4, and going 9-0 in the Big Ten. Number 3, Oklahoma. Last year, they finished the season 9-2. Cotton Bowl champs. Whooped Florida. Big 12 champs. First game, a road trip to Tulane. That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. They also got 2 first-place votes from the coaches. Athlon has Oklahoma going 12-1, finishing number 3, and going 8-1 in the Big 12. Athlon has Oklahoma going 12-1 and finishing 3rd, but has Ohio State going 13-0 and finishing 4th. That one doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Coming in at number 2, Clemson. Last year, they finished the season 10-2. ACC champs. Got to the playoffs. Got beat by Ohio State. First game, that neutral game against Georgia in Charlotte. I think Clemson wins that game, goes undefeated, gets to the playoffs. Athlon agrees. They think Clemson will go 13-0, finish number 2 in the nation, and goes 8-0 in the ACC. That brings us to number 1, and of course, it's going to be Alabama. Last year, they finished the season 13-0. They won the national championship, and they are the reigning SEC champions. First game, a neutral game against Miami in Atlanta. That could turn out to be a pretty tough test. I do expect Alabama to win with their depth, but I don't think they're going to blow out Miami. Athlon thinks Alabama will go 13-0, finish number 1, and go 8-0 in the SEC. I disagree. I think this is Alabama's letdown year. I think they grabbed 2 losses and barely missed the playoffs. So there you go. Golden Blue Dudes breakdown of the first coaches poll of the top 25 in 2021. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.